3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1026. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, you can do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. If you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome and thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. There may be someone watching this reading who feels things very deeply and very intensely. And I totally understand what that feels like. And a lot of other people understand what that feels like. So I want you to know that you are not alone. I feel something here that is deeply, I want to say like ancestral or just deeply human. Something about our experience here. Feeling something very deeply that feels deeply human. It almost feels primal in a way, if that's the right word. There's just something here about connecting to the animal that exists within us. And I am being reminded of something that I learned about how some people, some academics, smart people, believe that, or maybe there was evidence that way back, like thousands of years ago, when humans were very not modern, more closer to cavemen. There's something here about animals being involved with religion, and they would build like these T-shaped structures that I think these smart people think represent humans, and inside of the structures would be animals. Dead animals, animal bones, I don't know, but it's a really good symbol or feeling or idea that represents how I am feeling right now. Maybe you could also feel called to connect with the nature of who you are and the nature around you. That could be really, really grounding, healing, or comforting for somebody. I also want you to really understand how deeply connected we all are. We have so much more because of each other. Your life, my life is so much more convenient in so many ways because of other people. And that's just one way. One of many that we are all connected. I'm very hopeful for a future where all of us are more aware of how connected we all are, and we value and support each other instead of judge and abandon each other. I don't know, it's hard to describe this feeling, but like when I don't know if this would come off weird to somebody, but like when human beings abandon each other, I mean, probably as a human. To me, that is something that is it's difficult to not only understand, but to witness. Because you're not just seeing one person abandon another. You're seeing humanity, at least in my opinion, seeing humanity break down. And that's obviously not good. I really hope that I am connecting with somebody who does understand where I'm coming from, who feels things as deeply as I do. I mean, I honestly think that we all do, to be honest. But some of us just aren't aware of it, or we don't let ourselves feel as deeply as we can. That capacity and that potential is always there. It's just a matter of if we're individually willing to tap into it. And if you are, I believe that you are doing an awesome thing. Even though I feel like it's less true these days, like than it was maybe 10, 20, 30 years ago. But even though it may seem like a lot of people don't understand you, don't feel as deeply, I mean, I don't know, like, when I think about people who commit crimes, like murder, and hurt other people, I think that's because deep down, something unfair happened to them, and they never let it go. You know, I think at the end of the day, we all just want justice, fairness, and peace. That's what I feel, and that's what I believe. But moving into talking about the number 1026, the number 1 is about trusting yourself. This primal feeling, this deeply human feeling, definitely connects to this feeling of trusting yourself. Maybe it's intuition or instincts, you know. Maybe your body, your nervous system is trying to communicate with you. The nature of who you are could be trying to communicate with you. I'm really feeling something here about connecting more with your body and your physical reality and nature, and just being more present in who you are and this reality. Somebody here might really, really need some ways to ground themselves, especially if you're feeling fearful or lost deep in the ocean. You know, water represents emotions, so I hope you understand what that metaphor means. Lost deep in your emotions. It's really, really important to give yourself a safe space and enough time to navigate these waters. Don't get lost. Don't get carried away by the current. Being reminded of, there could be something significant here, like actually about maybe someone being on the water. Like, I'm more specifically thinking about like when people work at those oil rigs. I don't know if it's because of the music that I'm listening to while doing this reading, but it could also be like a ship, or, you know, is it the Navy that goes out into the water? I know the Coast Guard does, I'm pretty sure. I don't know the military too well, but I feel there's something significant here about a career or a profession that is out on the water and requires a lot of strength and courage. The number 0 in 1026 is about cycles, beginnings, endings, journey with yourself that always runs parallel to any other journey in your life. That should always come first. You're allowed to put yourself first when you need to. Like I said in a reading recently, sometimes when you just want to. There could definitely be a significant journey here that is on your mind. that requires you to trust yourself and to have courage, and there's a lot of emotions involved. I mean, every journey that you have, a lot of emotions could be involved. I guess it really just depends on how emotionally invested you are. So I feel like there is a journey or a situation here that you are deeply emotionally invested in. And it feels like it's important to trust yourself and to know when to put yourself first. The number 2 can be confirmation of a significant relationship or situation on your mind. This could just be extra confirmation for that journey that, there's a lot of emotions. You're having to trust yourself and listen to your intuition. This number can also be about your choices and prioritizing what means the most to you, and you should be part of that priority. Honestly, I think that yourself should be at the top of the list of what means the most to you. Just wanted to make sure that was still recording. But yeah, because without you, there's nothing. You are a source of energy. You are a force in this world. And it's important that you recognize that so you can use your energy and your force for the greater good, for your own highest good. So this could be a call for you to take your decision seriously. And I did see a card before I started recording that says answer the call. It was an Ancestor Spirit Oracle card. So I feel like your ancestors are calling for you to prioritize what means the most to you when it comes to making decisions in general or a specific decision that you might be being faced with right now. The last way that I interpret the number 2 is finding inner peace, finding balance. This really feels like it's connected to grounding yourself in reality and really being present, not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, knowing that the present creates the future. If you're really worried about the future, staying present is really the best thing that you can do, in my opinion. The last number, the number 6, is a choice between self-love and self-destruction, self-hate. It's a commitment. Choosing to commit to self-love or self-hate. And there could be a specific choice here where, at the core of it, it's about loving yourself or hating yourself, or destroying yourself. And of course, in a spiritual reading, you are going to be encouraged to choose self-love. Spiritually, your ancestors, your spirit guides, are encouraging you and everybody right now to choose self-love. There might be something significant here about self-help. Me personally, I made most of my progress when I did the work on myself by myself. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but I don't, at least in the United States, I don't really trust. At least I think it's hard to find a mental health professional that you can trust, or that really can connect with their patients and understand them and help them. I have felt that way for myself, and so that's why I think I always just did better on my own. And if you feel like you are doing better on your own when it comes to your healing and growing and your spiritual exploration, it's okay to do it by yourself. You don't need validation from other people, from the so-called experts. I don't know, it depends how much what you believe and what you pay attention to, but for me, everything sure is fake and gay. And you'll know that reference if you know that reference. But, adding up these numbers. 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 2 is 3, plus 6 is 9. And number 9 is about purpose. and helping the world release what no longer works. If you are already feeling led by a sense of purpose, I'm seeing the answer the call card again. Someone here is definitely feeling called to a sense of purpose or to something that feels like it aligns with what they are here to do in this life, like spiritually, intuitively. I encourage you to stay connected and to answer the call. And if you are feeling lost, confused, frustrated, depressed, anxious, seriously be patient with yourself and stay focused on the goal, which is finding the clarity and the direction that you need in life that aligns with you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Your ancestors are really, really supporting that. Take rest whenever you need it and move at your own pace. It's not a race. It's not a rat race. I mean, it can be, but you don't have to be a part of it. And just go at your own pace. That is a form of self-love, and I think it's a really nice form of self-love, just letting yourself move and flow and grow at your own pace. You will get there. There's no need to rush. And I feel like your ancestors are really wanting you to know that. There's no need to rush. You are enough, and everything that you're doing right now is enough. Being present, putting yourself first when you need to, is enough. It really does add up over time. I swear it does. And helping the world release what no longer works. This could just be confirmation for you in feeling the sense of purpose and making a difference. And you don't have to, you can make a difference in all kinds of ways, big or small. And there's no need to impress anybody. Like I said, you and what you're doing is enough. And what you feel called to do to make a difference is enough. Because at the end of the day, you're making a difference. And every bit helps, every bit matters. Honestly, I believe that all you have to, I feel like the bare minimum is just allowing yourself to be malleable and hold yourself accountable to higher standards of thinking, feeling, believing, and living. I think that's the bare minimum. And I know bare minimum can have a negative connotation, but I don't mean for it to in this reading. I'm just saying that that's enough. If you only just want to grow and just focus on yourself and you're just focused on being a better person for yourself, that's enough. Because at the end of the day, other people are going to feel it anyway. Alright, I'm going to move into the cards now. We had a lot to talk about intuitively and with the numbers. I'm going to pull out one card from the Ancestor Spirit Oracle. Oh, almost dropped them. Well, let's take this one actually. It's kind of sticking out. Calling to me. Nice. Other than Answer the Call card, I also saw this card. It says Psychic Strength, Shield, Talismans, and Gold Light. You are aware of something. You are conscious. You're seeing things clearer and clearer by the day. Whatever your intuition, your inner voice is telling you, wherever it's guiding you, I really, really encourage you to trust yourself and to have faith in yourself. This reading is starting to feel extremely guided. So if this is really resonating for you, chances are this reading is meant for you. But of course, that's always up to you ultimately. I'm also feeling that getting some form of protection, is important if you don't have it already. I do believe that whenever you are aligned with being the best version of yourself, naturally you are more protected. Because I believe that the universe, the higher powers that I believe in, I believe that they naturally protect light. And I want to say higher frequencies. I think this is kind of some little bit new that I'm reflecting on right now. But that is what I believe. I believe that this right here is called a Hamza, and it's really catching my attention right now. So if you don't know what that is, maybe look it up, find it out. I'm going to start finishing up this reading by drawing out 4 index cards from these cards here. I'm just going to see what comes through. Sometimes these can come off a little bit random. So if, one of these resonates for you but another card doesn't, just only pay attention to what resonates. Because you gotta remember, this reading is meant for more than one person. This card says, I'm trying because I want more with you. This could be interpreted in a lot of different ways, and that's why I say that these can come off as a little bit random sometimes, because they can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. You could be struggling to communicate or to express yourself or to show up honestly where somebody else is. Now, this could definitely be like a romantic relationship situation where one or both parties are trying because they want more. But this could also be somebody who is trying because they want more with something or someone else. That's the most general way that I can put it. This card feels like there is a motivator outside of yourself that makes you want to try. And it's okay to have outside motivations. I mean, honestly, it can be helpful. But I think it's really important that your main motivator should be because you're worth it and you deserve it. There could be a warning here about chasing someone or something and losing sight of your goals. We have, when will things change? And I just saw 3, 2, 1. Gotta trust that everything happens for a reason. This gives me a strong feeling, a very specific message that you could be in a relationship or a situation where you've been pushing for change or working towards change for a long time, or trying to encourage someone else to change, and it's just not happening. I really feel like the change that you're looking for is outside of yourself. And I encourage you to really reflect on this question. When will things change? And the answer may be never, but I could be wrong, too, I just think it's important that you reflect on when and why have things not yet changed. Actually, this Psychic Strength card could be encouragement for you to protect yourself from a person or situation that is taking advantage of you, manipulating you. And I do want to differentiate here that it's important to know the difference between when your fear is trying to take control and when your intuition is trying to take control. Fear is going to be loud. I mean, obviously it's going to be scary. And it's going to be jarring. You're going to feel it in your nervous system. Remember what I said about your nervous system trying to communicate with you? And your intuition is a quiet knowing. Something that just feels right and true. You can't really, explain the logic behind it, but you feel it. You could be being called to leave a situation that is not going to change and that makes you anxious, like it triggers your nervous system. And never ignore when your nervous system is trying to communicate with you. Even if it's fear that's trying to limit you or fear that's trying to protect you, always pay attention to whenever you feel fear and try to understand what it's trying to tell you. Wow. We have a little bit of a sketch here of an eye. Trust yourself. You could feel called to do a third eye chakra. There's actually a symbol in this woman's face up here where I believe the third eye chakra is supposed to be. So if you want to look that up, if you can figure out how to describe that in a search bar, you can. But yeah, trust yourself. Which one is it? Okay. Wow. You give me anxiety. I really, really encourage you to protect yourself because I feel like your nervous system is trying to protect you psychologically, spiritually, and or physically. You deserve to try somewhere where your efforts will actually lead somewhere. Do not view something not going the way that you wanted it to as a reflection of your own capability. I mean, for somebody, it's definitely more of a reflection of someone else who is unwilling to change. And I just saw 654, which is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. You feel anxious for a reason. Your intuition is trying to communicate with you for a reason. This question of when things will change is coming up for a reason. And you're trying because you want more for a reason, because you know that you deserve more and you deserve to be involved in people and situations that support the fact that you deserve more.